time for another shitty kitchen. Welcome to it. This is a follow-up, I guess, to the last shitty kitchen outpouring that I made regarding Magic: The Gathering. This will be my last statement on this issue, game, endeavour. Yeah, this will be my last statement on it. But I wanted to make this to explain my reasons behind my decision. Obviously, anybody that watched the last one will have heard that I was umming and ahhing as to whether I should continue to try to learn to play Magic: The Gathering Commander, because it's the format that, from what I can understand, is the most socially fun format. Yeah, socially fun. Because let me get this clear. I've tried Arena. I've played quite a bit of Arena. The first while, it was okay, but it's quite quickly I've come to despise it. It is quite a boring experience. Magic: The Gathering Arena is quite a boring experience. It's just grinding for coins, basically. There is no social interaction. There is no. And it's all pretty much automated. You're not learning anything from it. It's just click, click, whatever, click. So Arena is not something that I will continue doing either. My reasons for wanting to get into Magic: The Gathering Commander were because, from what I read, from what I'd seen, from videos, it seemed like a very fun, enjoyable experience, a social experience. 3-4 people sitting around a table, playing cards, and having a good time about it. Now, as I mentioned in my last video on this subject, there isn't an LGS anywhere near me. It quite literally takes me 2 hours to get to the nearest shop, and obviously 2 hours to get back again. So that's 4 hours. And in the times that I've done that, and I should imagine it's been in total, I've been to the shop 8 times now. The first time was just to talk to people and to find out, and saying that I'm interested in getting into this game, and to buy some basic bits. And every other time subsequently, I have gone there. I've brought some more bits, things, cards, and accessories that you need. Spent quite a bit of money, and played one game against people. One game. Now, I want to make this 100% clear. 100% clear. The people that I have played against, the group of people at this shop, are very friendly. Very, very friendly. Very welcoming. Very warm. Very accommodating in respect of the social aspect. They go out of their way to speak English, which I can only commend them. I can't praise them highly enough for how friendly they've been in the social aspect, outside of actually playing the game. But the actual playing of the game, the last time I was there, one of the guys that I played against, he openly admitted that the lowest power level deck that he had was a bracket 4, probably a bracket 5. Now, I don't fully understand this because I'm still a complete and utter noob, but it really does dwarf anything that I have. And I've spent close on to €500 in the last 2.5 months on this game. And I consider that for a card game, that's a heck of a lot of money. Heck of a lot of money. But I have subsequently looked. I have access to my eldest son's decks on Moxfield. He has allowed me to have a look at his decks on Moxfield, and we're talking £1,500, £2,000 for a deck of cards. Speaking to the guys at the shop about how to improve, and it's basically, well, you need better cards. You need to buy better cards. Yeah, quite literally that. Watch some videos. Go to EDH Rec. Look at what cards have better synergy with the cards you want to play, etc., etc. And I've done all that. I've spent probably the last 2 weeks agonizing over this, looking. And yeah, I can get the cards to make my deck or my decks better if I am prepared to spend a stupid amount of money. Quite literally that. A stupid amount of money. And I'm not prepared to do that. The way I view the game is that I think I mentioned this before, it is not pay to win. It is just pay to actually have a chance to compete. Quite literally that. Now, like I've said, with what I've got, I spent probably from the first day that I wanted to get interested in the game until about a week ago, I have spent pretty much that entire time putting together the best deck that I can, that I want to have. I think it's very good. I think it's very, very good, but it's still only bracket 2. It is the best I can put together, and it has the cards that I wanted to have in it. If anybody's interested, I can throw up a link to my Moxfield thing where that deck is. Yes, it doesn't stand a chance against competition level decks. I have become aware of the EDH and CEDH differences. Unfortunately, in the shop where I go, the guys only have CEDH decks. They don't have anything lower than that. And they play to win. Now, I understand that attitude and I respect that attitude. Play to win. If it's a competition. If it's a competition, then yeah, play to win. But if it's not a competition, then surely it's play to have fun. Surely it's play for the social aspect and do some stupid things. And everybody laughs and the game is not over in 5 minutes. Surely that should be the mentality of anybody. If there is a prize at the end of the day, if there's an entrance fee, then yeah, play to win. The day I go is the day when it is supposed to be just open, come in, sit down, play cards, Commander day at this shop. There is no entrance fee, there is no prizes, there is no handouts for whoever's done the best. There is none of that. It is just quite literally go in, sit down, and have a relaxing game of cards. And it's not fun. I'm afraid it isn't a fun game. When you turn up and there is no middle ground. And like I said, the people are incredibly friendly. But they just look at me and go, "You haven't really got a chance, mate. You haven't got a chance." I play 3, 4, 5 cards and the game is over. As I've also said, and I've tried every possible way I can think of to find a small group of people in this town of 47,000 people that actually play Magic the Gathering in a kitchen table kind of house rules format where we just play janky decks and we're not playing to win, we're playing to just have a social time and have fun. And I can't find anybody. I don't know if I'm particularly unlucky in where I live. I've read an awful lot online. People say, yeah, if you're a beginner, you just go to your LGS and there's always people there with lower tier decks. There's always someone you can play against that will teach you and help you. No, there isn't. Sorry, but there isn't. In my experience, that is not the truth. Maybe if you live in an area where there's quite a vibrant community, where there is accessible an LGS which is not too far away from you, maybe in a situation where you know people beforehand that play the game, then yeah, maybe that might be the case. But for someone like me, that isn't the case. It isn't what is happening, and it is quite literally boring. It is not fun. The game, as it is not fun. So I am giving up. The cards, which are all here on the table, I have 1,800 cards. 1,800 cards. I've spent a lot of money on them. I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm not putting them up for sale because I very much doubt I'll recoup the money that I paid for them anyway, because they're mostly all just commons and uncommons. You know, there's a couple in there which are, you know, squeeze me, which are rares and mythics and stuff like that. And there are some decent cards in there, but I will just put them into a cupboard now. And if at any stage in the future I do eventually find people that want to play, then I've got the cards. But we'll play across the kitchen table in a friendly, fun way. I read some stuff online about people getting confused over what casual commander is and what competition commander is, and people were arguing that casual commander is still competitive. So there needs to be another term. It is an absolute minefield for someone like me trying to get into it. I personally, this is my personal opinion, I would discourage anyone from starting it. I would discourage anyone from getting involved in any kind of Magic the Gathering card game. Now, secondly, I did think, well, maybe I should just collect the cards. Maybe that would be something to do, because I do like the cards. I like the artwork. I like a lot of the look of a lot of the cards. So I spent, again, quite a lot of time agonizing over this and making up lists of cards that I would like to own just for their aesthetic value as a hobby. And then I looked at the prices of that list and I was like, it's not worth it. For a picture sort of that size, to spend 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 fucking euros just for something to go, oh, I like that, put it back down. It's not. It's just not. I don't. I understand. I fully understand. As someone who has been a nerdy, or is still a nerdy, geeky, collector orientated kind of guy. I'm 64 this year. I was a nerd when it wasn't fashionable. I was a nerd back in the days when you got beat up at school for being a nerd. You know, I come from a generation where if any of your mates from school found you buying a Spider-Man comic, you would get the living shit kicked out of you. That's what I come from. I was a nerd before it was fashionable to be a nerd. You know? And what we have as far as Magic the Gathering is concerned is consumerism gone mental. Apparently there's another new set. I mean, I got into this just after Christmas, and in that time there has been 2 new sets and announcements for 5 new sets. Yeah, it's consumerism, commercialism, capitalism gone absolutely crazy. The essence of a fun game of cards is not there. As far as from my opinion, as far as I see it, it just isn't there. It is just, look how good I am. Egotistical, look how much money I've spent. That's what it is, quite literally, as from my opinion. And I apologise profusely if I'm offending people. Yes, putting these decks together in a certain order so that certain things trigger off of other things, and that is a skill, that is an art. Well done. But the cost to do that is phenomenal. To get the cards, 100 cards, to do that is phenomenal. A deck of cardboard playing cards should not cost £1,500, £2,000, £5,000, euros, dollars, whatever. It should not cost that. Should not cost that. That is just obscene. So therefore, I have made the decision that I am giving up, as I've said. The last 2 weeks I have spent trying to reach out to everyone I know for help. And every person that I know has said, yeah, I'll get in touch with you. And then I've heard nothing else. It's shit. This mythical, for want of a better word, vibrant, friendly, helpful, accepting community, as far as I am concerned, doesn't exist. I feel abandoned as far as this is concerned. Magic the Gathering is not the game that it is touted to be by the owners, Wizards of the Coast, by all the big YouTubers. It just isn't that kind of game. It is pay to compete. It is an elitist game. So yeah, I apologise once again if anything I've said has upset people. I can see the comments now. Well, you just need to get good. I just need to have more money to get good, mate. You know, I can sit all day long looking at the internet, looking through Scryfall, putting lists together that will work, and then I look at the cost of it. It's obscene. Yes, a hobby. You do spend money on a hobby. It is for entertainment value. Yes, you get something out of it. And if it's something you really, really enjoy, then you are going to spend that money. Yeah, I understand that. Fully understand that. I come from that background. I used to have a friend many years ago. God bless him. I don't know where he is now. God bless him. He was a lovely guy. He had a lot of issues with other people because he was very nerdy. He was a very big Doctor Who fan. A huge Doctor Who fan. And I'm a big Doctor Who fan, but he was on another level. And he spent a lot of money on a series of cards that came out back in the 90s, I think it was. Back in the late 90s. Spent a lot of money on Doctor Who cards that came out. But he got enjoyment from it. Now, yeah, initially I was getting enjoyment from these cards. Initially. But the enjoyment has gone. It's been sucked out of it. The fact that I've made this deck and I get to see 5 cards from it. There's another 95 cards, well, 94 plus the commander, that's never going to get seen. Yeah, no. It's sad, really, I guess. It's sad. So that's the end of this. The other thing. Yeah, there is but you can play online. Yeah. Spell Table. Untap.in. What's the other one? The Tabletop Simulator. There's a couple of others ways to play online, which is great if you have someone online to play with. It's great. I have played on untap.in with my sons in England, but they're not available very often for me to play. I think I've played actually twice with both of them and once with just my eldest, and that was because I had found the untap.in app and suggested it, and he was like, oh, we'll have a look at that, and was very happy that I'd found that. And then I just hear nothing else, so it is sad. It's just sad. I don't have any this sounds ridiculous, but I don't have anybody to play with. Nobody is prepared to help me. I've asked and asked and asked and asked. I've gone through every single way of trying to find people to play this bloody game with, and I cannot find anybody. 2.5 months, I can't find anybody to play with. That I can have a good fun game with, that I can have fun, that I can have enjoyment, that I can justify the €500 that I've spent on this hobby. And unfortunately I can't. I just can't do it. So yeah, Bumph, that'll be the last time you hear from me anything about Magic the Gathering. It was an idea. I thought it would be better than it is. It isn't. I'm giving it up. Thanks for listening. Hopefully the next Shitty Kitchen will be a more fun one. Yeah. Cheers.